lived across the Pacific Northwest, from Idaho to Oregon to Washington, and even into Hawaii, and I've noticed the cultural differences based on what I've seen. Now, really, there's two major varieties, the city folk and the small town folk. And I thought I'd discuss that with you as we're discussing the COVID. City folk tend to be the types that are one small person in a large crowd, with many rules to get along with everyone else. The small town folk, or country folk, are a lot different. They have more precise rules, but they also have simpler rules. They don't need to worry about many people, however, they need to worry about nature itself, and getting it to do as they say. Because of this, it creates a individualistic and very quiet, private life. The differences can easily be found as soon as we discuss something like guns and how to use them safely. As an example, let's take a gun into a random spot here in the city. Just need to point the gun anywhere, any direction we want, and oh, we've hit somebody. Oh, darn. Okay, we're still hitting somebody, partially because the targeting lock is on, and we've been wasted because, frankly, people didn't want us to do that. Let's try that again. We've got the gun, we're aiming, and it looks like we're causing pandemonium and people are now going to try to arrest us. Yeah, don't even try this scope, man. It's just not going to work out. I should point out that there are people in cities who enjoy shooting guns. I have some good friends that way. However, it costs a lot of extra money to go into a shooting range. Many rules to make sure that you're doing everything safely. And also other extra costs and times that you have to do and spend to get anything you want accomplished. Because of this, the majority of the people who own guns and use them are not the law-abiding people. Instead, it's criminals, it's gang members, it's people who don't mind breaking the law so long as they can learn how to use guns and use guns for their own purposes. Because of this, people in cities tend to think that people with guns are criminals, because the only people who can really test guns are going to have to break the law. So they, very likely, are the image of anybody who owns a gun, even if they don't have the same rules. Let's try this in a small town. Okay, we're just moving away, seeing what we can. Okay. Well, there's a road there. There might be people there. So, let's just cross the road and suddenly we can shoot. You will note that we could pull out the sniper rifle. We could do anything we wanted. We don't need as many rules, and safety is guaranteed. There's just not as many people. Because of this, guns become kind of safe for those in the country and unsafe for those in the city. You're probably thinking, oh, that can't be real. That can't be real. Well, here's a shot from my third floor apartment. As you can see, across the street is nothing. Nothing is across the street because there's woods there. Here, let's zoom in. Do you see a lot of houses? No. And that's what a country life is like. You have civilization where you live, a small town, some 2 to 30,000 people, and then nothing. Nothing for miles. And that's something you have to explain to city people who aren't accustomed to those kinds of rules. The people in the country then view the people in the city as criminals because the only people they hear about doing things that they're accustomed to are criminals. And it's a constant thing. Oh, you're going to get shot. Oh, this is going to happen. Oh, these people do not understand our way of life, and they're all a bunch of criminals. In contrast, a city just keeps on going, with everything you need right there. All gas stations, all orders, all restaurants, everything. And it's just so large that it's actually difficult to describe to someone who's accustomed to a smaller town. Even though the two are right next to each other, it's often difficult to explain the worlds that they create and the people who live in them. Because of this, trying to explain something or show a law or an idea to the other becomes very difficult. Because of this, when people from the city see shots of the countryside and the people who live there, they don't really understand what they're seeing, in the same way that somebody from the country doesn't understand the city. So there's kind of this foreignization, an expectation that what they're looking at, well, it's foreboding. It's problematic. It couldn't possibly be real. Or, more precisely, there's danger. There's something to be worried about. There's people to be worried about. There's people to be scared of. And, yeah, they think for certain the other guy is out to get them.